So, just when you think the adventure was over, it never ends. Actually, it'll end for a while after this. We're gonna knock out a few things on this car. I'm gonna replace these springs, which are springs and shocks, which are too stiff and too low. That's been a problem since day one. I do not like the car as low as it is. Fred's on the last stages here of removing the steering arm, and the TC rods are taken off. So these should fall out and give us enough clearance to get the springs down and out. You'll see that in a minute. In the back, a little more in depth. We've undone the brake lines as well on fronts and backs. We're going to see how far we can get this to drop down and if it can come out and clear. All right, so we're going up here, up the ladder. Woo, I'm getting high. Okay, so what we have to do up here is remove these caps off of the shock towers. I'm working with one hand here. And then take these nuts off, and that should allow the rear suspension to drop down, hopefully enough. We shall see. Okay, the parking brake's loose. We're gonna get these little clips off. These. And the top is loose, so I think that and probably taking off this axle outer flange should give us enough to drop this thing down and get these springs to go ahead and flip out. Done. Well, done with the first part. It's apart. So you can see the suspension's just hanging out in the breeze. It makes a W. You look at it like this. So both sides are just hanging down, ready to pull this nut off. And just these springs are just hanging loose in these things. They're so short, which is what I don't like about it. Thursday we should have the new springs and shocks in, and these are, again, I'm not going to touch this because it'll flip out, but this is all just hanging out, and we're at the point now that we're ready. Look how good everything looks under still. It's really nice after a year of use. Everything's really clean, good shape, no oil leaks whatsoever, completely dry, pretty. So anyway, that's what we're working on. Okay, the last couple of days have been kind of a whirlwind. I did not record a lot of it, I'm sorry. We replaced the springs and shocks on the Z. Much better ride, much more soft ride. These are the Vogland, or I'm not sure how you pronounce it, springs. And what was on it were the Tokiko 5020s, I believe. They were much harsher. These are much more supple and ride way better. And the Tokiko shocks, they are Tokiko, sorry, it's late. I'll think of it in a second. I can't remember the model of them. But anyway, the shocks and springs are replaced on it, and we filmed almost none of it because we just worked the last couple of days. I'm getting ready for a show tomorrow in Prairieville, which, not a show, a meet. Bunch of Z guys are going to meet up there, and we're going to have a great time. But such a great venue. You'll see it tomorrow. But anyway, oh, XLG. XL-G is the model of the shocks. The car, let me just give you a quick show. Cleaned up very nicely. This thing is just beautiful. I am 100% proud of the job we did. The one thing that wasn't, so we kind of finished the car in a bit of a whirlwind toward the end to get it to Road Atlanta, and it's been a year now, and I still haven't fixed a couple of things. The front bumper was just kind of flopping around and wasn't mounted properly. We just threw it on the I threw it on there and didn't fully mount it. So tonight I actually got the sides mounted solid, nice and even gap across the top here, gapped properly away from the car here and here. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, nice gaps on both sides, and it is rock solid. That bumper is properly mounted as well as, as good as the back is. So some other things that were done, not tonight, but some road trip stuff in the passenger seat. We got cigars and whatnot. But anyway, got a new cubby here made by a friend of mine, David. He can make more of those if anybody's interested. Beautiful place to hold your phone. I actually made it the length of my phone, so it fit nicely in there. So been busting ass since I got home from work. Excuse me. Been busting ass since I got home from work and got her ready. This is, oh, and something else. Again, sorry, I did not video, but something else I did was completely and fully mount properly the exhaust system. The exhaust system on this car has been kind of a thorn in my side since the beginning because I bought the motorsport kit, and while it fit well in general, it hung down too low. So we did two things. One, we lifted the car some with the new springs, however you pronounce them, and also mounted the differential mount and redid the mount on the rear. So now, and put a new gasket up front. So now the entire system is tucked better, way higher off the ground. I think we're to the point that we can actually drive this car and go where we want to and not worry about damaging anything. Well, it doesn't get much better than this. Cruising down the interstate on a cool April morning in a 1971 Datsun 240Z, heading to a Z show, TV. And right behind me is a 1972 Datsun 510. It's actually my original car, my first car. We'll see more of everything when we get there, but for now.
Take a look around the channel. We've got a Ferrari series, we've got guitars, we've got cruises, we've got local cars and coffee.
All right, we finally made it. We're at Harold's shop, and wait till you see what's going on here.
Wow. That's impressive.
Look at this. This was Adam Carolla's car. Completely 100% race car. Camel GT. I think, I'm assuming Bob Sharp racing back in the day. Beautiful 300. One of many 350s. And then this 10th anniversary black gold. Look at this interior. Couple of 350Z projects. This one was wrecked and is now a parts car. And this is a 370 that they're doing with the new style hood. Look at this lineup. What beauties. Oh, this right here. This is a dream car for me. I would even take an automatic just to have a 300Z. Z32. Nice 370. I'll get some more footage from the outside when a few cars get here. But we made the trip just fine. Z ran great, and we'll catch you when everybody shows up. So I know it's a Z meet, but check this out. Beautiful Lotus Esprit. This is an Esprit Turbo. And in excellent condition. Just beautiful. Original interior. Wouldn't this look good next to the Ferrari?
Hey guys, here we are back at Paul's, and look, the Z is on the lift and it's up there for a reason. It does not move. You can put it in gear and it's not going to go anywhere because there's no drive shaft on it.
Yep.
So you guys prepped it for a show last week, put new suspension on. Tell us a little about that.
We have new springs and new KYB shocks. It rides great. We got everything done on that and cleaned her up and everything. We were going to the meet that you'll see. Not a show, really, just a meet and greet, kind of hang out. He cooked some burgers and stuff. Anyway, on the way there, I started getting a growling noise. And it was kind of like one of those, oh, what's that noise deals that you get with old cars sometimes. And so we pulled over. I checked the lugs and everything. Nothing was loose. But it turns out something was loose. This. I don't know if you can hear it, probably not. Anyway, there's enough slack in that to cause a vibration, which made a really loud noise, especially at 80.
And that was on the way there.
On the way there, it started making the noise, and I kept going because, well, didn't know what the noise was. I just called it an exhaust rattle. And luckily, the thing didn't like come loose and fly off and whatever. But no, it held together, but that's what's wrong.
And yes, I'm wearing a flannel and jeans, and Paul is in a t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was don't show my knees. They're ashy. No, not really. I was crawling around on the concrete.
In my defense, it was 50 degrees this morning.
Yep.
And now it's 70 something. That's life down here in South Louisiana. I just didn't feel like changing again.
Yeah. I came out in this morning and just went with it.
Oh, it's cold. I'm not going to change.
Nope.
So while it's up here, there's something that happened on the way back from Atlanta on the maiden voyage that we never really talked about. We were somewhere around Tuscaloosa, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
And the exhaust up here lost all the bolts. Well, almost all. I think the top one was still on.
One top bolt was hanging on, but the bolts that came with this kit were just regular bolts with regular lock nuts. And it just, I guess with this, at the time it was hanging too low, and this hitting must have just jarred them loose. And so I put back these metal lock nuts that don't really give. These don't come loose no matter what. So that was fixed.
And we did that in the parking lot of an O'Reilly.
Yeah, they actually let us use a jack, and I put the nuts there, and I think the bolts too. Yeah.
Yeah, came out.
Because the bolts were gone.
Yeah, they were gone. Just that top one was kind of holding on. But yeah, they came outside and looked at the car and let us. In fact, the guy said, I got a jack in the bed of my truck. Go get that out and y'all can borrow that.
And we made it home like that. But it's never been quite right. It's always hung down too low. While it was up in the air, I decided to figure out why. I added a bracket right here, which was supposed to be there, but I didn't know where this was supposed to hook because there was no bracket or hanger. So I made, it's hard to see in here, but I made an L bracket, and then I actually pushed the exhaust up higher and redid this mount as well. So now, finally, after a year of fooling with this exhaust and being scared of it breaking off because I hit something, it's tucked in and we don't have to be nervous about it anymore.
So now that it's back, it's up on the rack, went to the show, had a good time, got it home. Drive shaft is off. It's going to go to the drive shaft shop tomorrow. We have a pretty good drive shaft shop right here in town, Driveline USA.
Yep.
That pretty much everybody around here uses. I think he has people shipping him stuff from out of state that he actually rebuilds too.
Yeah, I guess he's the only one in town that really does it, and it's not. He's actually also good. You know?
Yeah, and he's also a car guy. Truck guy, actually. He has got a C10, but he's part of the car community, I guess you could say.
Right.
And that helps out a lot when you're working on car parts.
I gave up. I was messing with it this morning, and it's oddly shaped. They're angled in, and when you try to put it in the press, it doesn't work right. I'm sure he's got the right equipment. He'll throw it on the bench and just press it out in no time.
I needed some U-joints changed on my son's Frontier drive shaft, and I messaged him actually on Facebook. I didn't have his phone number, and said, yeah, drop it off. And so I did, and I didn't want to bother him. I didn't want to, hey, when is this going to be ready? Blah, blah, blah. So I just dropped it off and left. And he messaged me before I got home, said it's finished.
Oh, yeah.
I could have just stood there and waited, but
I think they're going to do this in that amount of time. It may take them 15 minutes. I actually I needed some, it was for the camper. I needed a piece of pipe cut and flared on both ends. And I said, look, I need a piece of this pipe, but flared to fit over this pipe.
Right.
Gave it to me. He just went in the back, flared it for me, and
done it.
Yeah. I didn't have to buy the part because the car came with the parts. Mm-hmm. They were actually in the box, and I didn't think, oh wait, maybe I should put these in.
They're only 53 years old.
Right. But they had, to my credit, they really didn't have any slack. I tried shaking them, and they were tight. But they were kind of, you can tell when the grease is new and everything. So anyway, I had the parts already, and that's $100 saved. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if he charges me $100, I'd have had to buy the part either way.
So he's going to get that fixed, and the Z will be back on the road. It's almost a year to the time that we took this across the country to Georgia.
It is this week.
This week,
this week is the year
that this thing met its goal. And we're going to do a video on that separately from this. We're going to sit down and talk about a year of ownership with the car and what it's been through since then and the trip. We never really sat down and talked about the trip.
Exactly. That's in the plans. And I was thinking yesterday while driving down the interstate, man, I was nervous about the noise and nervous about having just worked on the suspension and stuff because, I'm taking it on a hour and a half one-way test drive. We did a 12-hour drive out the box, just said, let's go and see what this thing does.
And no tools, no parts.
Nothing.
Just took off.
Nothing. I mean, it's way better now than it was then, and I was still nervous yesterday, thinking we were just like on a adrenaline high and just said, let's go, I guess.
So stick around for that. Keep an eye out for that and watch that one. It's going to be fun to sit down with him and Fred and the guys that worked on the car. And we're going to talk about the car, but he's going to get this back on the road tomorrow afternoon, probably. You might be driving tomorrow night around in this thing.
I'll go take another test drive tomorrow, and it's running great. It's the suspension is a world of difference. Different car. It's more mellow suspended. It doesn't bang it to death. It's not as low. The exhaust is high, much more confidence that I can take the car and just drive it now.
Yeah. And that's what you should do with your car. No matter what you have, no matter what you do, get out there and drive it.